Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for Dr. Stone Season 3, Episode 2. And last episode, they tried to make bread. I don't know what they used when it came to a timer, but they had it in there way too long. And it became just like burnt rocks. Edible rocks, essentially, like Ohaku mentioned. And Ryusui was like, I want a professional chef. And he apparently has one in mind. However, the problem is, thanks to Homura, they don't have any more revival fluid. Because they have no access. That makes no sense to me. That can't be the only cave where there are bats. That can't be the only cave. Surely with some scouting from some of the others like Chrome, Ukyo, some of the others, they'd be able to find another cave that's got a lot of bats in it. Right? Surely they have time to be able to do that, because then they'd be able to get their dang nitric acid, and they can make the alcohol while they're waiting on that. And while if they do actually find a cave that has, some nitric acid in it, they just gotta wait and gather it. Seriously. Surely they can't be the only cave. Does anybody else not see that little plot hole coming through here? Surely that's not where the entire population of the bat species has been congregating, right? It's just the only one that they know of. That also irked me in Season 1, in Season 1, because Senku knows how nitric acid is made. Surely there are bats in caves near where Ishigami Village is. Right? Right? Please tell me I'm not the only one frustrated by that. That's been bugging me for quite some time, but I never mentioned it until now. Anyway, they don't have any revival fluid, so they can't bring anybody back, even if they wanted to. And I'm thinking, well, your next best thing will be trying to find somebody who, out of the people you already have, that know how to cook. Because, I mean, surely some of those meatheads know about cooking, surely. At least one. But no, Francois wants someone that he specifically knows of, which is Francois, his butler that he mentioned when they brought him back in the special. His butler that would cut them a check, and then he realized what was going on. And they're like, essentially, well, surely somebody there's got some revival fluid hidden away. And I'm like, wait, who would have revival fluid hidden away? And my first thought was like Tsukasa, because I figured surely there's no way he would have left that nitric acid just sitting there in the miracle cave where anybody would grab it. Surely he would have had it hidden away where he could get to it when he needed it. No. It turns out the reporter lady that they got the information on Rusi in the first place had some. And in order to get it from her, she had asked for essentially something in return. We didn't get to hear what she asked for, but apparently Senku can make it. And thus she gave them. It was hidden under her thingies. What were those things, by the way? They were hidden under that, and it was only enough for like a small person, like a child. And I'm like, who are they bringing back? And then I realized that it was Francois when they mentioned it, and I'm like, Francois. Isn't Francois normally a masculine name? But when they brought them back, Francois looks like a girl. Sort of. Or at least a boy with feminine features. And I don't even think Ryusei knows what Francois' gender is. He just referred to them as they, so gender fluid maybe? Who knows? Non-binary? I don't know. But yeah, Francois immediately took stock of the situation as soon as they got there. And essentially, they asked them, what do you want me to make you? After they find out that they want food. And they ask for bread. And Senku asks them for some that will not spoil very quickly on their voyage across the world. And they ask for, a time limit because they need a time amount for how long the bread should last. And Ryusuke gave them a time of 10 months. And they were going to make some kind of sweet bread with, I'm guessing, nuts or berries or whatever in it. And the way, using all the primitive tools that they have at their disposal, even with Senku's, oven and stuff, they are at home making modern bread. Modern bread. Not the most primitive bread you can think of with what they've got. No, modern bread. So much so that when they all take a bite, Ukyo's almost driven to tears at how it tastes because it's so from back in the day, essentially. I'm like, how? How did you do that with what little things you have in this stone world, essentially? Yes, they've got, I guess, proper flour now, but surely they weren't able to make it so well that, you can make modern bread, essentially. And obviously everybody loves it, including Chrome and the others. They really love it. I'm guessing that puts what Senku made to shame. But I was like, don't make it too good, because if you make it too good, when they go on that voyage, it'll get eaten up real quick if they're not careful. And I was thinking, well, wait, they were able to make modern bread in the stone world using what ingredients they had, which were probably, I'm assuming, like hybrids or mutations or whatever of what they're used to. And, yeah, that's surprising. Which means, what else could they make? What else could Francois make? What I don't get is, why didn't they make the noodles, now that they have the regular flour, why don't they just make, regular noodles instead of the foxtail noodles, and make actual noodles? That might actually taste better than, the foxtail millet. Ask Francois to make that next and see what they can make up. At the very least to make the noodles, because I'm sure that they can come up with everything else. Because I think that was Senku's only problem with the ramen before, was that the noodles weren't right. Which all came down to the flour that they used. Right? Anyway. The reporter lady, she asked them, well, I gave you Francois, you have to come up with your end of the deal and give me what I asked for. And when she tells them what they asked for, or what she asked for, Senku was essentially like, really, you're making these kinds of promises again? And I'm like, wait, is this something he can't make? But he says it just requires steady hands. I was like, okay, so it's something he can make. I was like, what would she possibly ask for? I didn't even think about the possibilities at the time, but now, what I didn't think about, oh my god, shut up in there. I was thinking maybe something like, I don't know, makeup, they've got water, so they can use that as a reflection. Skin products? Something like that, that's what I was thinking maybe she would want. And they get a hold of the others back in the Tsukasa Empire, and they ask for Kazuki because they need him to come and help them make this. Whatever it was he were making. And he said he was getting bored, and this was essentially what he needed, and Taiju offered to carry him there on his back. And I think he could do that. No. The reporter lady pulls up in the Steam Gorilla 2.0 with Kazuki in his really nice clothing that he was showing off in the fashion show, and he looks awesome in that outfit, I will admit. However, given his track record of destroying his clothes when he gets excited, I was worried for those clothes, and that did not disappoint, because as soon as he heard what they were making, he did exactly that. And all his clothes went to shreds, essentially. And Senku and Chrome are making something. I'm like, what the heck are they making? And as soon as Senku pulled it up, after he got done making it, putting it in the silver, I was like, oh, a mirror. Hang on. Anyway, the mirror thing. At first, that's what I thought she was wanting, was a mirror. And, yeah, Chrome was acting weird with the mirror. But then, with Kazuki's help, they made not a mirror. They made a mirror, but that's not what she wanted. She wanted a camera. I was like, okay, that's the start of possibly getting to where, like, you know, you could start doing, like, movies and stuff. And, oh, that's going to be fun to see. That's going to be fun seeing them trying to make is something to record audio and video and not just take pictures. And it shows, you know, why she had wanted the camera, because she had a camera. She was a reporter. She had a camera that she took everywhere with her. And when she was turned to stone, she lost the camera because everything essentially disintegrated. And she got all happy and excited. And it turns out that Senku had him make a bunch of those. Because, you know, what better way to be able to get a lay of the land by taking pictures of the area from above. And it makes sense. You don't have to hand draw maps anymore. Well, hand draw some of that stuff anyway, I should say. And she gets mad and just asks, well, can I at least take the first picture? And they end up bringing Ryusu's clothes because they were going to have someone model all this stuff for the museum, the future museum they're planning on making, talking about how, you know, how all this stuff happened. And at first they thought that Ryusu was the one who wanted to be photographed. No, Ryusu was like, no, let's do Senku because he's the mastermind behind all this. And it turns out that Ryusu is greedy, but he wants to include others with all this sort of stuff. So it's not just about him, essentially. He's not a narcissist. He's just obnoxious. A little bit, at least. And they had Senku pose in front of the hot air balloon before he went up. And I was like, well, what kind of pose is he going to do? And they said to model a famous scientist. And he did, but I didn't even recognize it because I've never seen a picture of Albert Einstein. And apparently he posed like him. So now they have mirrors and they have cameras. So they can have, the photographs are going to be black and white, obviously. Until they figure out how to do color ones. In which case, oh boy, that's going to change everything. So now they're able to take pictures. Anyway, I am excited for the next episode. I cannot wait to see how the show is going to go. Because apparently next episode I think is First Contact. So, wonder what's going to happen with that. I thought that meant that they were going to be going out on the ship in that episode. I'm like, they haven't even gotten the ship finished as far as we know. So, don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, I will get to work on things, and I will get this edited and uploaded, and I'll see you guys next time. Dang it.